So Jolene knew about Slenderman also, because I told her some stuff about him, and her mom also. And they asked me who he was, and I said that he was David Bowie. So that's what David Bowie's friends call him, and that was true. David Bowie had friends that called him Slenderman. Because David Bowie was Slenderman. David Bowie was also Slenderman. And also Jolene knew the story about Slenderman incident way back then in 1986 or whatever that year it was. Because I told her about it. When I told her about stuff, I looked her in the eye, because we established an agreement that we would look at each other, we would see each other eye to eye when we were talking to each other, and if neither of us agreed with each other, then we would look away and not see eye to eye, and not just stand there and listen to the other person bullshit us, while looking them in the eye. So, if somebody forces you to look at them, you just look at them. But if you're not forced to look at a person, then you just look away to show that you're not seeing eye to eye until they can capture your attention again by further elaborating or offering an extension or an explanation on what they're saying so that you can understand it and get back to seeing eye to eye with them, right? So, we saw eye to eye on Slenderman. We understood who he was. And I did tell her the story about what happened in the Waka shop over there. I'm not sure if I specifically knew the place, but I might have specifically known the place. I might have called it out there. Because these things commonly occurred, I would know actually specific names and places and just call them out,
The FFF, which is la Fédération Funk Français. How about that?
And then, if somebody tried to tell my parents about it and stuff, then they would just be like, you guys are just fucking nuts, so it wasn't like any of it would be believed, but because of the fact that I looked her in the eye and we saw each other in the eye, she believed it because she saw that what I was saying to her was the truth.
That's really what Peter was talking about when he said it's all in the mind.
Of why
it sounds insane
that
when you just jump up
line
and say it without
of the
reference to
song
anything
was
specific.
a blonde belief beyond. And then no return. And then I'm deranged, right? Because once we knew what the truth was and once we saw it, then there wasn't any way to go back. We couldn't freaking erase our memory of what was fucking true, And then just at that point from then on, you're just deranged, So there was that. David Bowie was Slender Man, and Jolene didn't know about. She didn't know about Slender Man. She also is one of the people that knew about the incident, and her mom probably also. But she would say things like, you know, I know things that I can't even talk about because other people can't hear them. So I think that she also knew. I mean, like, my memory about what exactly Pat was in on was vague, or is vague, at least at the moment. But I do remember some conversations that I had with her when we kind of like synced up, and like she'd find me and she would like walk up to me and talk to me. But I couldn't let that get too weird, you know, her being an adult and me being a little kid. You know, like we could freaking, you know, we can meet on thoughts, and we can have a conversation and stuff, but yeah, there's a certain boundary that you can't pass, of course. But Pat was cool like that, though. I mean, I think that, like, I mean, I don't have any recollection of her being, like, off in that way. Like, she was always cool with me. Like, she would, like, keep her respectful. She would keep her respectful social distance, and she would stand, and she would, you know, and she would look at me from, you know, comfortable. She could read signals, and she would tell where her zone was, you know, and she would, you know, but I didn't care. Like, I let her, you know, get close up with me and talk to me, like this close up, and looking at me. She wasn't trying to fucking molest me. There's certain people like take her close to, you know, and be a kid without it turning into something, you know. So here's one. So I mean, I did, like, she had kind of a split personality though. Like, one minute she'd be like, you know, on your level, and the next minute she'd be gossiping around the corner about how you were fucking deranged. But then she would come back and she would apologize, and she'd be like, you know what, actually now I understand what you were saying, and now I understand what's behind this, and I understand what's going on, and like I was wrong to say this or that, you know. And I had conversations like that with her, but, you know, still she was in the position where, you know, we're kids and she's the adult, you know, so it's like, she's feeling, like, just, like, what the fuck do I do with this situation, you know? I understand all that. Yeah, she knew because, like, you know, her daughter was 9 or whatever, right? And her, obviously, she's gonna talk to her daughter, and her daughter, she's gonna get, you know, she's gonna get information out of her daughter, you know, like what I was saying to her and stuff like that. And the conversation that we had in her bedroom was about Peyton. I told Jolene that that I traveled into the future and stabbed a little girl. You know, like through her best friend. I was like, this is what happened, her best friend. I told her the story, you know. And this is going on in 1985, whatever year, 85, it was either 85, like end of 84 or 85 or 86, something like that. And I'm doing this like way back then. I'm like 9 or 10 or something like that, right? And I'm doing this, right? And I think I said her name. I'm pretty sure I did, actually, because I now remember conversations that I had with Jolene where she's like, well, what do you know the girl's name that this happened to? And I was like, yeah, her name is Caitlin. And she was asking me, you know, like, is there any meaning to that? And I was like, well, yeah, think about it. Think about that name, you know? This happened because it got somebody paid. Her name is Payton. Loot. There. And I said that to Jolene. I remember that now, and I said that like I totally like did that, and like. And then, like, I totally just did that just now. Like, it fucking told you that I did that. And, and it's not funny, it's messed up, but, like, even back then, she's like, you know, that's not funny, that's fucked up, you know? And I'm like, yeah, but it's happened in another dimension, you know? I was like, we're just like freaking a couple of 10-year-olds and this is going on in another dimension, you know? Like, and so she's like, okay, you know? Well, tell me the rest of the story, you know? And little does she know what the fuck I'm actually doing, you know? Unless it came down to like where she even knew that it was real, you know, I'm not really sure 100% on that now because I have to find it. I have to find out. I have to find it in my memory if that occurred. If I imparted that information to her that shit that it was real, you know. Well, she burned the fucking song, you know, so, like, I told her, hey, look, if you agree with one of those, there's another one of those, like, little scripts where I was like, hey, if you agree with this idea and this thought, then, like, see this piece of paper with this freaking, you know, song written on it, or these notes written on it, or just burn it, you know, just set it on fire. And I'm not really sure who taught me to do that, to be honest. Somebody that I met in 1978 when I was 2 years old actually taught me how to do that. A witch came to visit me when I was living on North Avenue. And I was with my mom, stuck in an apartment all by myself with my mom. And she was trying to kill me. She'd get a boyfriend just so that she could tell him to throw me in the fucking air, or throw me in a freaking swimming pool or something like that. There's like several murder attempts occurred, you know. Some of them that I can still remember vividly. I got dropped on the ground. I know somebody's gonna make a freaking brouhaha out of that information. I got thrown in the air and dropped on the fucking ground. I got thrown in a swimming pool and drowned. Like pushed down and held down until I couldn't get back up again. And my lungs filled with water and I drowned. And then I was pulled out and then freaking revived. These are fucking bad memories, okay? From early childhood, it's just really difficult to access those memories because they're freaking highly traumatic, okay? So. But I don't try to like completely block them out because they're really exhausting. You just try to remember it. But said, memory is valuable. Every last freaking piece of memory that you do have access to, there's a reason why it's there. So like, if something fucking vaporizes, then it's obviously not important enough to have kept, you know. So the parts of your memory that you just can't like access anymore, it's really just legitimately gone, trained, you can't remember, you know. That's okay, you know. But if you do have memory, it's important to have the ability to access that memory, like to be able to see, to be able to use your memory, like the way you use any other appendage of your body. It's like an appendage of your mind, like you're extending, and you're going like internally. It's like an internal extension. There's like some part of your mind that like has like this internal appendage or something that reaches internally and reaches into your something. Obviously, the clutch of life and the fist of love is in reference to being gay. No, though, it really is, though, because, like, okay, so then that was another part of the conversation that I was having with Jolene, right? That day. Because we were little kids, so we just started talking about stuff, you know, and, like, getting a fix on each other's opinions or each other's view, or getting a fix on what I knew and what she knew about certain things, you know. So she asked me about that, about, you know, what do you know, or what do you think about the gays? And I'm like, she's like, do you like girls or boys? And I'm like, well, I'm 10 and I'm not really permitted to like anybody at this time, but I guess ideally, you know, and I explained, you know, what my outlook was on that, and she goes, so you're pansexual? And I didn't know what that meant. She's the one that informed me of the meaning of that, you know. And I was like, well, I guess so, like, whatever, if that's what you call it, you know, like, if I'm attracted to something, then that's what I'm attracted to in that moment. You know, I'm not trying to compartmentalize or rehearse my fucking, all my future experience. And take myself away from the true moment of what is speaking to me, and what is going on to me in the present moment, and what's responding, you know, etc. So then we just started talking about, you know, the clutch of life and the fist of love, you know. Big deal, you know. Salaam. You know. And I wrote that down on a piece of paper because it was funny, you know. Because, you know, when a dude is jacking another dude off, you know, that's the clutch of life and the fist of love, right? And a big deal. Salaam. Yeah, that needed to be freaking spelled out and explained, right? But it didn't, but I did it anyway. Be real, deranged. Salaam. Before I reel, I'm deranged. So what is this thing about thin skies? Thin skies just means that the sky is visible. Like it's not so overcast that you can't see the sky. Thin skies means like it's a nice day. You know, there's just a few clouds. Maybe just as not very many clouds, you can see the sky. It's a nice day. It's a nice day outside. That's thin skies. Thin skies, the man shames his hands held high. What that means is that this person imprisons himself intentionally and proudly. He proudly chains his hands together. He holds his hands high and then chains them together on a beautiful day. On an otherwise beautiful day. This is what he does to himself. Thin skies, the man chains his hands held high. I'm deranged. Cruise me down, cruise me, babe. A blonde belief beyond, beyond, beyond. Right, what happened there? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what I kind of do know what happened there, but it's like kind of really extensive to get into because like the girl was blonde and cruised me down, down, down. It's down. Like you're going down that way. You're cruising down the road. You're cruising down the fucking street. I'd rather be cruised down the street by a blonde than by I don't know what I was thinking at that time. I was trying to figure it out. I'd rather no, I guess just at that moment I just wanted to be cruised down by a blonde that had some kind of belief that was beyond, beyond, beyond. And I didn't want to return because, you know, that just really seemed like the ultimate adventure to never return from, apparently, right? So I was like, I don't care if you take my man, Jolene. I'm not that desperate, you know? I'm not that attached to him, you know what I'm saying? You just go ahead and take my man. Just take him wherever the fuck you want to take him and do whatever the fuck you want to do with him. I mean, it's... Just take him away completely, you know, make him your man, and I won't have a man anymore. I'll go find another man, you know. I mean, he's yours anyway. He's your cousin. Jolene, I'm begging of you, please don't take
beyond compare with flaming locks of auburn hair, ivory skin and eyes that will bleed. Your smile's like a breath of spring, your voice is soft.